Welcome to this episode of Talk is Biotech. Today I'm with the CEO of AlgoBio, Anneke van Heuven. Welcome to the show, Anneke.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Do you want to start with a quick introduction? Tell us a little bit about your company.
Yeah, so my name's Anneke van Heuven. I'm the CEO and co-founder of AlgoBio. My co-founders and I started this company because we were really passionate about working on something to help the environment. And we knew of this problem of toxic flame retardants being used in industry. And a lot of these flame retardants cause issues like brain development issues, cancer, and fertility issues as well. So a lot of government regulations are coming into place and banning these toxic chemicals. And kind of manufacturing companies are now looking for a solution to replace those, non-toxic solution that won't have those effects on human health and the environment. So that's where we came in. We developed a non-toxic bio-based flame retardant, and we're now kind of speaking with some potential customers and trying to get some pilot projects going.
Love it. So what will be the final product here? So are you thinking to work with other manufacturers, or like what will this business look like in a couple of years?
Yeah, so our tech right now is a flame retardant coating. And it's currently applied to textiles. So our current market is textiles, and so it can go into a variety of applications from curtains to mattresses, protective gear, furniture, upholstery. So it has various applications, but yeah, our customers will be like the manufacturing side of things and the actual textile treatment facilities. So there's kind of a stage where after the textile is made, they get treated and then they go into their various applications.
So what is the secret sauce here?
Our flame retardant is made, the base of it is a bio-based polymer, and that's extracted from seaweed. And then our kind of like proprietary part of it is a combination of nanoparticles. So the combination of this biopolymer and our nanoparticle formulation creates this synergetic flame retardant property. And basically we kind of just combine it all. And then, like I said, use that as a coating.
So what's the typical process, right? Do you obtain seaweeds and then you do this extraction in-house, like in your own lab? Like how does it work? Do you want to walk us through the process?
Yeah, so right now there is a process to actually like extract the polymer from raw seaweed. But right now for R&D purposes, we're just purchasing the polymer in its raw form. So kind of after it's gone through that process. And then we, on the side, formulate our nanoparticles, do a bit of functionalization, and then combine those. And basically, it's a process of mixing and heating and some other chemicals. I can't say too much, but then it goes through a process of going onto the textile.
But for regulatory approval, is there any regulatory approval before you can think about commercialization? Do you have to run any test to get that approval?
Yeah, so there's a few approvals that I think customers like to see. In the States, there's NFPA, which is basically going through like a flame test. And we've done a lot of these tests kind of on our side of things and to verify that we will meet those requirements, but we haven't actually gone out and gotten those certifications yet.
Got it. And is there any like claim substantiation, like any proof that you can validate your claim? Do you need that before you go to the market?
Yeah, so I guess there's a standard kind of vertical burn test that is probably the most common around the world, or the most we've heard about. And so we've done that, and the requirement kind of depends on the application, but one kind of industry standard is to have a burn rate under 100 millimeters per minute. And we've tested our flame retardant on various different textiles, and so our burn rate is kind of on a range from 4 to 20 millimeters per minute.
Got it.
So that kind of verifies that aspect of things.
No, that makes sense. And do you have to apply for any patents, or like, I'm not sure if it's more of a product patent or you are protecting the process
Yeah, we actually have a patent almost finished. It's pretty
Mm-hmm.
much written up, and we'll be filing it soon. And it's more, it kind of encompasses all of it. Like it encompasses our specific formulation
Mm-hmm.
and like the process that we kind of make our flame retardant from, and then also like various applications.
Sure, that's great. I do want to learn a little bit more about you, like your story. How did you end up starting a company so early?
Yeah, so I just graduated from nanotechnology engineering in May. So I had a 5-year program, and my co-founders came from that program as well. And throughout that program, we all have co-ops. And
Mm-hmm.
so through my co-ops, I worked at kind of a scale-up company and 2 different startup companies. And I really liked being in the stage of like really early product development. I think one of my co-ops, I joined a company when they were just 4 months old, and I really liked being in the really early stage and kind of getting to see the product like basically be made from science to market type thing. So I really enjoyed that, and I think that it kind of inspired me to and made me curious about entrepreneurship and possibly want to start my own company one day. I was also kind of realistic about it. So in our last like 2 years of engineering, we have a design project, and that's kind of where our tech stems from. So we made this non-toxic flame retardant during our schooling, and it wasn't until we saw it was working really well that we kind of got like more interested, and we're like, okay, like this could work and potentially like in be made into something we could sell. So we took some business courses and did a lot of like customer discovery and market research, and kind of found a market that this tech is really good for.
Great. Is there any intrinsic motivation to pick this specific idea?
I think I personally, like, I've always wanted to do something that will impact the environment.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually learned about toxic flame retardants in like a first year toxicology course. And so we kind of remembered that, and it had been like 4 years since that course, and there hadn't really been a change. So I think that kind of inspired us because it not only affects human health, but it also affects the environment and waterways and things like that. So I think, yeah, that
Mm-hmm.
was like where the inspiration came.
Nice. What type of impact do you think this can make?
Yeah, well, so currently, 1 in every 6 American has some flame retardant chemicals in their drinking water. So, and that number is like only growing because the use of flame retardants is growing, uh, not only because it's used heavily in electronics, but also in new like electric vehicles are using more flame retardants. So I think the those impacts from those toxic flame retardants, not only is the use of them growing, but they also bioaccumulate. So the
Mm-hmm.
ones that we used 30 years ago, or that is still on a couch or something that's just being disposed of now, are also going to be entering the environment and making things worse. So I think the sooner we can switch over to a non-toxic solution, the better.
Yeah, yeah. No, I couldn't agree more. I think we need more climate tech companies, ideally from the bio industry, because that's a more
Yeah.
sustainable way to do that. So they say bio manufacturing is going to be a $2 trillion industry. So 60% of physical goods can be manufactured biologically. So we need to manufacture more products biologically. So it does make sense quite a bit. I would love to know, like, if someone is still in school, they want to start a company. How do you even start a company? Like, what do you have to do? Do you have to talk to your professor, go to business class? You mentioned you attended some business class. So, like, do you want to share
Yeah.
some advice here?
Yeah, I guess like personally, I took an entrepreneurship class and some business courses to kind of get into that side of things because I do have more of like a technical engineering background. And then what really helped us was just applying to a lot of like early stage kind of accelerator programs. So we entered a pre-accelerator program pretty much right after we graduated, like a few weeks. And that like very much that's helped us a lot in terms of kind of knowing the direction we needed to go in to actually build a company, because it was completely foreign to us. Like, obviously none of us have ever done it before. So I think surrounding yourself with like those mentors or those accelerator programs is like the most important thing you can do. And just like, even if you don't have access to those programs, like reach out to people through your own connections, or even like cold emails, people who have that experience and have built a company and can kind of like give you some type of direction.
Yeah, pretty cool. I mean, especially in the Kitchener-Waterloo area, the support system is so strong. We have access to University of Waterloo, Velocity, Communitech, you name it. So the support system is pretty strong. Do you want to name that accelerator program or incubator program that you joined?
Yeah, it was the Concept Cornerstone program.
Okay.
So we graduated from that in July or early August. And so it was just a few months. It was really focused on like customer discovery and kind of like product market fit. So, but yeah, it was a great program, and it was for students through the University of Waterloo. Now we're in the Creative Destruction Lab program in Toronto, which is another really good accelerator program.
Like what type of support system you get from CDL?
Yeah, so CDL is also very like mentorship based.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of structured where you have 8 months and you have a meeting every 8 weeks to kind of like discuss your progress with the mentors through CDL. And they help you set like 3 key objectives that you focus on for like the following 8 weeks. So it's really good at like setting goals and like keeping you accountable for meeting those goals. And then also like the advisors and mentorship that people offer through that is really helpful too.
Yeah, great. Now, I think when you start a company, especially as a tech person, it does help to get more business advisor. So you understand the tech, but who will buy it or what will be the business model? That understanding helps quite a bit. And for tech, how are you developing your tech? Do you have access to any lab space?
So not right now. We kind of developed it through the university when we were in school. And so we had access to labs through our undergrad. But yeah, now we are kind of currently looking and applying to places like Velocity and IndieBio, hoping to get like access to a lab through that. And also those come with like really good business mentorship as well.
Love it. Now I think we need more entrepreneurs, especially more bio entrepreneurs like you.
Yeah.
And more tech entrepreneurs, because if you go a few decades back, most of the CEOs were proper finance, MBA people, right? But now what we are seeing is scientists working at the bench, running the show. And I think we need more of that, more scientific, more technical founders. Great. Any advice you want to share to students, undergrad students who want to start a company? Where should they start? You talked about some courses, advisory, support. Any tips you want to share with students who want to start their own company?
The only other thing I could mention is I think the most important thing for initially starting a company is like finding that market, finding your like niche market, and really actually physically going and talking to the customers and like getting to see if they would actually buy this product or your idea. And I think that having that really sound and having talked to so many people can really like de-risk your business a lot. So that is definitely like the first stage I would focus on.
I agree with you. Commercial viability is the key.
Yeah.
Cool. Now, Anneke, I really appreciate you joining the show and hope to talk to you soon.
Yeah, thank you.